All right. Something I hear every year being an art teacher is at some point in the trimester, I have a student come up to me and say, well, how can you possibly judge art? Art can be anything. And, in some ways, this is usually just a student's attempt to get a better grade or argue for the sake of arguing, or they don't like that I wouldn't let them use the bathroom or something. Um, but that comment is so prevalent in our culture. Art can be anything. And what most people don't know is where it came from. And so I decided it's important to know where that came from, because it's an idea that pervades just about everything we look at these days. Okay? And it comes from a movement of art called Dadaism. Now, Dadaism was really just a literary movement, a bunch of guys getting together, thinking about stuff, writing stuff down, and protesting World War I and all sorts of stuff. That kind of thought brought about surrealism. And surrealism also started as a literary movement, and so they'd write stuff down, and they very much liked the work of Sigmund Freud. And Sigmund Freud was the guy who talked a lot about the kind of the unconscious world, really, the subconscious world of dreams. And surrealists really thought this was amazing and said, you know what, let's try and show what that looks like. Okay, now today we have movies about it, like Inception. But the surrealist painters were really the first ones to go after trying to show this subconscious world. And that's what directs a lot of things. And this project, the surrealism projects that I'm going to show you and talk about, is really an attempt for you to understand kind of the how large creativity can be. So let's start off with Salvador Dali. Okay, he's not the earliest surrealist, but he's probably one of the most famous, and he paints these extremely detailed, vivid, imaginative things. You see the idyllic landscape and just kind of sparse landscape and just these kind of wild collection of things. He even did, photographs of what surrealism should look like. Okay, has some friends. He says, okay, throw some cats, spray some water, throw a chair, snap a picture real quick. So it's all kind of floating. Very fun stuff. I also focus in on Frida Kahlo, who is a very prolific surrealist painter who was in the hospital for a long time due to a bus accident which impaled her through the torso. And during the whole time she's in the hospital, she's painting, and the style that she chose was surrealism. It kind of freed her from having to be in the hospital day after day. So just kind of this free creativity. And as you can see in the pictures, she really does have kind of that unibrow, like she does in all the pictures. Okay, but she struggled with expressing herself and her trying to understand herself as a woman and her place in the world, and using creativity and art to kind of express that, because she's cooped up in a hospital all day. It's kind of rough. And the third artist that I like to show is Rene Magritte, who really takes kind of a satirical look at life and just kind of how silly everything is, how serious we are, and how silly it is in some ways, and how unrealistic it is. So Rene Magritte, Frida Kahlo, and Salvador Dali are kind of the main focuses of surrealism. And as you look them up, I hope you find some really good stuff and some good inspiration in looking at their work and reading more about them.